Namaste, good afternoon, and a warm welcome to Parliament. I'm delighted to be hosting this celebration to mark the 30th anniversary of the National Hindu Students' Forum. Over the past 3 decades, NHSF has provided Hindu students at universities across the UK a safe space to explore their Hindu identity, cultivate key values, and develop into future leaders and role models. Above all, it has instilled a sense of pride in Hindu identity on campus. It's wonderful to see so many generations represented this afternoon, from current students to the original founders and alumni of NHSF to community elders who inspired and supported its creation. I'm also delighted to welcome a wide range of my colleagues from Parliament representing both houses and from across all parties. Indeed, support for Hindus and Hindu students should be rightly a source of strong political consensus in our country. As well as celebrating the last 30 years of impressive achievement by NHSF, today is also an opportunity to take stock of the story of British Hindus, who now represent over 1 million people in our country. That journey is captured by the exhibition which you see across the room, but is equally embodied by the experiences of so many present here as well. It is a story of two halves, of struggle and sacrifice, as well as positive progress and remarkable contribution to every field of human endeavour. Not only would the UK be poorer in every sense without British Hindus, but in many areas of activity, such as the health service, our society would struggle to function without the exceptional talent and skills of the Hindu and wider Indian community. Yet, ours is a quiet contribution, not a bombastic or attention-seeking one, anchored in the very best of dharmic values of duty and service. But at times, the absence of public profile has also acted against the interests of Hindus, especially the simplistic media portrayal which conflates the politics of the subcontinent with the underlying philosophy of Hinduism. Regrettably, Hindus and Indians have become a punchbag in Parliament too from certain quarters. The public understanding of the world's third largest religion is surprisingly shallow and often dominated by images of rituals rather than an appreciation of a 5,000-year-old ancient civilization from the Indus Valley. Now, more than ever, Hindus require a stronger voice and profile to counter the distorted representation. The essence of Hinduism is to be open, inclusive, and tolerant of others. We don't come from a theocratic country or tradition, but instead from a civilization which accepts that there are many paths, respecting and embracing difference. This is evident across every corner of India, and the challenge for all of us is to better explain our values and the ground reality that we represent not only the oldest tradition in the world, but one of the most peaceful and tolerant. In fact, I would say that in an era of increasing ideological competition and global fragmentation, Hinduism and Hindu values are more relevant today than they have ever been. As torchbearers of the noble values of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, Hindus have a pivotal role to play in countering the forces which are making societies more inward, insular, and intolerant. So, as NHSF looks back on its legacy over the past 30 years, it can look forward and look ahead to making an ever greater impact in the years to come, supporting future generations to understand and celebrate their Hindu culture and identity, and building on its reputation of being a factory of future leaders. Thank you all for joining this special occasion. I hope you have an enjoyable afternoon. And I'm now pleased to hand over proceedings to Samyak Pandey, a fourth-year medical student at King's College and an active member of NHSF. Samyak.
Get this right. Namaste all. My name is Samyak, as mentioned, a current student just at the hospital over there, and a student of NHSF UK. My university experience has been defined by my journey as part of this Hindu student movement, and it is with great privilege that I now serve as the National Public Relations Lead for the largest Hindu student movement outside of India. It is through this responsibility that I am able to serve my community, able to connect the future Hindu leaders of tomorrow and bring them to the widest spheres of representation within British society. It gives me great pleasure to be your host this evening. Now, the Hindu journey in Britain, the untold story, as we can see, is NHSF UK's bold attempt to tell our tale. It is the first work of its kind to showcase the story of Hindus in the UK, researched by students, written by students, designed by students. The Hindu journey in Britain has been travelling across campuses in the country over the past 6 months, narrating the trials and triumphs of our Hindu community in these British Isles. The NHSF UK exhibition will immerse you in the stories that have defined the journey of British Hindus and how the Hindu community has helped to shape Britain. Now, from eavesdropping in conversations here and there, I know this hall today has been buzzing with discussions on the landmark moments and achievements of our community. This exhibition has brought together students and communities across various areas of society onto one platform, demonstrating how our past, present, and future have been integrally shaped by a confluence of Hindu dharma and inspiring individuals. This exhibition seeks to spotlight those lost Hindu voices that have enabled the success of today to be achieved. Allow me now to bring onto the stage one more inspiring individual, one of our founders, Janvi Dadakati. Professionally, she is the founder and CEO of Myra Governance, a strategy and risk mitigation boutique. She aims to elevate leaders to change their mindsets by taking a more ethical and dharmic approach to governance. A graduate from SOAS, who served as the second national president of NHSF UK. She currently sits on our National Advisory Board. She served as the first Vistarika, a full-time voluntary worker of NHSF UK, giving 1 year of her time to expand activities on campuses across the country. A role model for us all. Namaste, Janviji.
So, to the respected elders, Manliya Dhirubhai, Madhviji, to the Right Honourable MPs in the room, Lord Jitesh Gadhia, and everybody else, and anybody else I've missed, and most importantly, my brothers and sisters in the room. And I am really embarrassed that I've been chosen because there are so many people in the room here that are founders. To be called a founder, in my view, I come from a governance world and an entrepreneurial world where everybody loves to put their name to some movement. The first difference, and what I really want to talk about, is the difference between National Hindu Students Forum and any other organisation. And the first difference is we do not have egos. We do it because it's the right thing, and we do it because that's what the world needs, not just us as a community. So I loved what you said, Jitesh Bhai, about actually we provide solutions for the world. I've just come from the Institute of Directors, and one of the biggest conversations there was distrust in leadership. Well, I can tell you, I told them that there are at least 30 leaders that I'm just about to meet that you should be putting on your boards, because that's what National Hindu Student Forum does. Ethical thinking, ethical voices. But just as Jitesh Bhai said, we haven't had a voice. And National Hindu Students Forum was there to provide a platform. And it's absolute privilege to sort of see 30 years on, we're providing more and more platforms for more and more people. However, I do have a plea to all of you here that are not from the student fraternity. We need to support our students. Okay, they're doing everything for free. There's another differentiation. Everybody else that was sabbaticals, they get paid. Okay, when we do it because we think it's the right thing to do. But as we know in the world, finance is the lifeblood, a resource. So a plea to all of you, the youngsters, the generation after us, are doing things for us with their bodies, with their minds, with their spirit. But they do need done. And so I would plea to all of you, because they're too embarrassed to do it, but I will do it on their behalf. So please support them in any way that you can. Lend them your support, lend them your voice. And to the youngsters in the room, 30 years, again, a differentiation. Everybody else celebrates. We do this, we've had 30 great years. Well, as I said to you, and as Sadhguruji said, he said, we must all die failures. And as I've said to the students, actually, as Hindus, we have a great advantage. We come back in our next life to correct our failures. So for all of you, what do we mean by die as failures? Let's dream. Let's really dream for what we can do, not just for Hindus, but for British Hindu society. And if we die as failures, let's be proud, because we will have moved the dial. So let's do that. And then the final point, our real differentiation for me, is embodied in a Sanskrit shlok, which some of you will know and some of you won't, but I will say it anyway. So, Nabhishekho na samskaraha simvasya kriyatevane vikramarjita sattvasya swayameva mrugendata. And what does that mean? And why is that such a important motto? Well, we're not here for prizes. We're not here to be elected as the best student organisation or anything like that. We will achieve by our own efforts. So keep going, all of you in NHSF, and please, to the elders in the room, support NHSF. Namaskar.
It's always really hard to follow on from Janviji. We're celebrating 30 years of Hindu societies on British campuses, the heart of our NHSF UK movement. So what does a Hindu society do, you may ask? They provide platforms for students to explore and engage with the Hindu identity through debates and discussions, through socials and sports, through yoga and meditation, and through acts of selfless service for the community. Hindu societies create safe spaces for our students to express and celebrate what it means to be Hindu. They create families to feel welcome and accepted for who they are. The Hindu society is truly a home away from home. We'll now be hearing some words from our Cambridge Hindu Society President, Thomas Awad. He is currently a second year at King's College, reading Asian and Middle Eastern Studies, specializing in Arabic and Hindi. Beginning his first year during the pandemic, the height of the pandemic, I may add, he played a huge role in organizing virtual satsangs, or prayer meets, for students across the university. Let's hear into these insights, into running these Hindu societies, and perhaps hear into the challenges that our students on campuses can face. Namaste, Thomas.
My lords, ladies and gentlemen, namaste, and my humblest pranams to you all. My name is Thomas Awad. I am a second-year student at King's College, Cambridge, and I have had the pleasure of serving as the president of Cambridge University Hindu Cultural Society over the past year. I am absolutely honoured to be standing here speaking to you today on behalf of my society on the occasion of the 30th anniversary of the National Hindu Student Forum, which is an organisation that is incredibly close to my heart. The story of NHSF is an incredibly inspiring one, and something that we as a community should feel incredibly proud of. Today, I would like to take this as an opportunity to discuss some of my own experiences and how NHSF has truly helped me to become the person that I am today. Upon coming to university, one of my primary concerns was that I would feel so isolated or distant from my faith and from my community. Moving away from home for the very first time, coupled with the height of the COVID-19 restrictions, was certainly not the easiest of experiences for me. But my university Hindu society truly proved to be a home away from home. And for me, I honestly don't know what I would have done without it. Although the events were primarily online to begin with, it did give me the opportunity to meet so many like-minded individuals and maintain a connection to my religion, with the society running weekly satsangs or prayer sessions every Sunday, which during my first term of Cambridge were honestly the highlight of my week. Throughout the year, some of the people I had met through the Hindu society had become some of my closest friends, and I simply could not be more grateful to NHSF for giving me these wonderful opportunities. As an act of gratitude to the Hindu society and the wider Hindu community, I decided that I wanted to give back to the community and was successfully elected as president of the society in March 2021. Being a leader of the society certainly presented its difficulties, with instances of animosity coming from both the student and academic body in the university that were completely shocking to us. But the sense of community and solidarity provided by NHSF and the wider Hindu community were absolutely invaluable and made us feel like we were truly part of one big family. For as long as I can remember, the Hindu faith has played an integral role in my life and has been an immense source of support, both through the good times and the bad. Attending religious services and festivals as a child and throughout my teenage years, I was often used to being the only young person interested in religion, and was often met with excitement and encouragement by community elders who wished their own children would be the same. However, upon starting university, our Hindu society and the wider NHSF Parivar made me realize that I was not alone and helped me connect with other individuals who held the Hindu faith so close to their heart. For me, NHSF wasn't just a society, it truly was a safe space for me on my campus to be my true, authentic self. A place where I felt completely and utterly at home, and a place where people wouldn't constantly ask me what that red dot was on my forehead. The 30th anniversary of NHSF is a truly momentous occasion, and one that I could not be prouder to be standing here celebrating. It truly represents the progress and contribution, and might I add, huge sacrifice of the Hindu community in this country, and continues to be a space for students to feel comfortable, proud, and unapologetic about their own identities. Thank you very much for listening, and namaste.
Gadhia
representing the voices of over 10,000 students, is our NHSF UK president. A recent graduate in computer science from the Queen Mary University of London, he's currently working as a software engineer in the Civil Air Service. A dear friend, older to me by just a day, and a shining guide for our youth. Let us welcome onto the stage our national president, Bhavya Shah.
Namaste, my sisters and brothers. It is truly inspiring to mark this wonderful occasion here today with you all. First of all, I want to extend my greatest gratitude to Lord Gadhia for hosting this wonderful evening. And also to James for helping set up the event and the relentless emails back and forward. Thank you for that. 30 years. For 30 years, NHSF has been a pillar for the British Hindu community, guiding our youth whilst they navigate their way through university, the challenging times that they are. NHSF has been that constant. Over the last 30 years, we've rebuilt this pride in our identity of what it means to be a British Hindu. What are the dharmic values that we uphold as British citizens who are also proudly Hindu? We've given lectures, talks on what are these universal values. And so 30 years ago in the 90s, where it would be tough for Hindu students to practice and promote their dharma, to light a diya, to hold an arti, if they tried, they'll be faced with adversities, challenges. Janraji is nodding, she knows. But today, we're proud to say that in our Navratri festivals, thousands of students come with joy, with pride, to celebrate the notion of Ma Shakti. We've come a long way. That's because for 30 years, people like yourselves have been tirelessly working in the background to ensure that the Hindu voice is once again empowered. Over these years, we've grown our base, grown our student numbers, and like Thomas mentioned, created this home away from home, this network, but also a family, a parivar, where we can rely on each other, we can share ideas with each other, and more importantly, we can push each other. And that's what our Hindu societies allow. When all 45 of these Hindu societies get together, the talent that is present really does show the power of the youth. A lot of us in this room are supporters, alumni, and have been touched by NHSF. And so you'll know what it means to be an NHSF student. An NHSF student is one that recognizes the need of the hour, the importance to share our universal dharmic values with the rest of the world. An NHSF student comes out of university more proud, more knowledgeable about the Hindu identity. And an NHSF student graduates knowing they have a responsibility. They have a responsibility to become a leader of tomorrow, one that upholds dharmic values so that Britain can become more sustainable and a better place for all. And so it is with great pleasure that we can say we created this exhibition to showcase exactly what the British Hindu community is contributing. Over the last 30 years, NHSF and many other organizations have played a pivotal role in that. But it's important to remember the work does not stop here. We still have 30 more years to go and 30 after that. And yes, maybe we might not be around, but definitely our grandchildren will be. And what is important to remember that all of us in this room are inspirations for the next generation. You truly do embody the values that our Dharma teaches us. People like myself look up to you. And so Lord Gadhia, members of the House of Lords, House of Commons, my Samaj elders, my advisory board, and sisters and brothers. NHSF will continue to protect, preserve, practice, and promote Hindu Dharma so that Britain becomes more sustainable.
I've just remembered one of the quotes up under the public services. Sarva bhuta hi te rataha, to be ever engaged in the welfare of all beings. And I think that sums up what we are trying to do as a Hindu community for Britain. NHSF UK was founded with one purpose: to provide Hindu students at universities across the UK a safe space to explore their Hindu identity, to cultivate key values, and develop into future Hindu ambassadors. We work to create a home away from home, to support our students, to nurture eternal Hindu principles such as cohesion, respect, and diversity, to develop future leaders and role models, and to ensure Hindu representation in all spheres of society. We thank you all for joining today. We'll be having 10 more minutes or so where we can engage in further discussions, more about the exhibition, more about how your food has been today. As you leave, our National Committee members will be tying rakhis on yourselves. These are tied as expressions of gratitude, to thank you for protecting us. And they are a promise to celebrate and strengthen our relations. May the achievements of our Hindu students continue to bring pride to British society as the future leaders of tomorrow. Namaste.
It's been a long time since I attended my first meeting of the National Hindu Students Forum. It was 25 years ago at your annual conference. I think it was in Coventry at the time. And I remember then talking to a group of young students who were seeking to find out what their faith meant to them in their context as British Hindus. And it's wonderful to see the way in which the organisation has grown over the past 25 years and to see today those boards around the room that actually show in each walk of life how much the Hindu community has contributed to our life in the UK. And it's always that challenge to find out what one's own faith means, how you work it out in practice. It's not just a system of beliefs, it's actually about who you are and it's about how you behave towards others. And that's what creating a society is all about, and that's what those boards around the room really do show. It doesn't matter whether it's in sport or in business or in politics, to see the contribution, and that contribution being based in sewa, in service, is absolutely fundamentally what I see in NHSF. So thank you for all that you've contributed to the UK through your faith over the last quarter of a century, and all power to you for the future.
Namaste. So happy today to be part of this event celebrating 30 years of NHSF. I've been involved, fortunately, for many more years than most people get to. And my secret is what we talk about to create this parivar is a feeling that I get to experience time and time again as I attend these events. Today has been a particularly special occasion to invite guests from the wider Samaj to celebrate with us, to showcase all of our successes and achievements, and hopefully to set the tone for the coming 30 years and beyond. Very proud, very happy, and hope that we continue to receive that same level of support from the Samaj.
It's a great privilege to be here this afternoon to mark the 30-year anniversary of the National Hindu Students, and I have been privileged to see this wonderful organisation grow from strength to strength, so much so that now in 45 campuses across universities there are some 10,000 students. That really is huge development, and I very much look forward to seeing this wonderful group of people at all 10,000 being much more stronger in the years ahead. It's an important organisation that passes on a very powerful message to Hindu students, and it's also an organisation that helps and supports them when in times of difficulty. So I'm delighted to be here today, and I wish you well for the next 30 years.